All right.
He's
Well,
there.
that's it.
He's watching. He's watching. He's just not able to talk because his mic is low.
Okay.
So,
I had a question.
all right.
I had a question in chat earlier about what I did at the bottom. So I glued the chain goes all the way through this, and I glue a little wood bead on the bottom with Tight Bond Quick and Thick to the chain, and then I have a little recess in here that the bead fits into. So that's how I do it, and I'm perfectly open to suggestion about what if there's better ways to secure the chain in these pulls, because I'm not sure. I've never had any fail on me, but I'd like to know what people do.
So that's what how I was taught.
Say the same thing, Dane.
So at the bottom, I have a larger hole that will accept your your chain link going through, but at the top, it's a much smaller hole. That way, it bottoms out into the top of the light pole.
So what do you put on the bottom of the chain?
Oh, it's just the regular connector, the extender.
The little connector. Okay. The little
just
metallic.
the extender. The extender won't go through. The smaller.
Gotcha.
I think it's a 1/16 hole. So, which is just big enough for the pulleys or the little balls to go through, but the brass connector where you add chains to it won't fit through it.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
So when I get them on Amazon. They're these little tiny balls. I don't know if they show up or not, or if you can see me or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I use these little tiny balls. I buy them in a package. And I
okay. Yes, that's very similar. It's very similar to what I'm using. Are they beads? They have a hole through them?
No, these are not beads.
Okay.
These are just little round balls. I use them on like gnomes and various different things.
Gotcha.
But they are.
Do you use that to plug the bottom then?
So yeah, I actually glue it right. Yeah, so I glue the bottom and the chain and everything with CA glue.
So do you drill out that little ball?
No, I don't. I just
Okay.
CA glue. I just CA glue all three together at the same point.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know if I can really show it next to a fingernail, but I mean, they're tiny. They're like 3/8 of an inch.
So you just plug the hole with that, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So at the bottom of the hole, I round off the bottom. This kind of fits in there, and the chains all together as one.
Gotcha. Yeah, if I could find somewhere that would sell just those little like flared out bells, that's what I would use. But I haven't found anywhere that they have they have the normal connectors like these things here, the connection barrels, which is what everybody's talking about, is these things.
Right.
So, but if they also have these sort of like these little bells that sort of flare out, if I could find those somewhere and buy them in bulk,
Ace Hardware should have them.
Hey, Matt, why don't you just make a wedge, drill a hole in it, right? And then you could use epoxy or whatever in that cone-shaped wedge that has a hole in it. Put your chain through that wedge, then through the hole, and epoxy your chain to that wedge before you put it in.
Sounds like a lot of extra work. I already have the beads. I already have the
You're already making one when you're getting ready to part the tool, part the thing off. You've already got that hole drilled through. Just make a cone above before you're parting it.
Well, that's fair, but I already have the beads in a contrasting color because I bought those for something else.
All right.
So, and the hole fits. So that's what I use. But it's all right. So all right, but it's all good because I'm learning stuff. Okay, that's a good idea. I like that idea too. So thanks, everybody.
So the rationale with the through hole and two different diameters is if you want to move that light pole to something else, you can easily take it off with no issue without having to destroy the light pole. If you're gluing something up on the bottom and plugging it, now that's affixed to that ceiling fan or that light.
Yep,
makes sense.
Yeah, when I was making mine, I was taking that connector that you're showing there, and I was putting it above. That way, I can swap it out. As an example, let me grab one of the lights here.
Just for the
But at
record,
this
we are
moment-
now we're now in the after hours section of the
Yes,
meeting.
Yeah,
thank you,
so
Matt.
forgive the dust on the bunny here, but so this is one of the gourd things that the wife makes. And then we have the connection attached to the chain above it, and then we can just swap out whatever, whatever
Right.
we have. So
Yeah,
that's
that's basically what I'm doing too. Yep, yep.
Yeah, so my connection's actually attached to the light pole, or it's attached to the ceiling fan, and then whatever my little bobble is, it's hanging down there is the pole attaches to that connector. And then we just, we epoxy or lock that into the ornament or whatever it is. And I'm not wasting that extra connector someplace else, It's just a technique. They're kind of like other things, everybody's got their own, right?
Right. Yep.
Since Tim was talking about wood at SWAT, if anybody is coming through Atlanta, I'm in the process, since I've had the stroke, I'm in the process of liquidating all 3 warehouses. So you can come and bring trucks, trailers, whatever. I've got about maybe 3.5 or 4 tractor trailer trucks full of wood that's already been processed, sealed. It's all in bull blanks and billets, and so.
Mark, I'm leaving now.
All right, come on.
Hey, Mark, could you say that again? I'm sorry, I had to step away.
I'm liquidating all 3 of my warehouses since I've had this stroke. And so all the wood I have is basically processed. It's all in billets and bull blanks, and it's all kinds of burls, ambrosia maple, box elder. I got tons of cherry, walnut. I've just got everything you can think of. And like next week, I got a guy bringing a whole U-Haul truck from Florida. On May 1st, Tim Tucker out of the big West Carolina, or the West Highlands Woodturners Club up there, they're coming down with a truck and a trailer. And there's just bargains, bargains, bargains. And if anybody needs anything, I can put it in the boxes. But it's all cut, it's all waxed. I've got some raw logs that are left, but a lot of it I'm donating to clubs for projects and things like that. But I won't need much for the rest of my life.
I wish I would have known, Mark. I was like 35 miles away from where you were about 2 weeks ago when I drove through my tour of the South. But I'll be in touch with you on the phone or by email. Thank you.
All right, yeah. And anybody can just come on and we'll load you up. You can go
Hey,
in
Mark, what's your phone number?
404-556-1736.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And but give me a call and come on up. We'll load you up.
Hey, Mark, what does your schedule look like on Friday
Uh,
for a phone call?
what? I'm here all the time now, because I still can't drive anymore.
Right.
So
Okay. I'm gonna give you a call, and so we can get work through the logistics on doing our Turner's Corner with you. I want to get that set up with you for 10 or 15 minutes of program if you're still down for it.
okay. Now, if I don't know how to do this, somebody have to tell me how to do it. But if you want me to go over there and take like a little video, because this stuff's way up almost to the ceiling, and it's all in boxes and it's all sizes. If somebody wants peppermill blanks, I've got a kind of 3x12. If somebody wants bold blanks, I've got every size. It's just everything like that.
What is your
Sounds
problem?
good, Mark. Sounds good. Hey
But I
guys,
can-
I'm gonna go in and take care of the cat here. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be listening, but I'll mute myself.
Yeah, but if I can take a video, just walk around a little bit, and if you know how to put it out on the Worldwide Woodturners or whatever, people are coming through. Trust me, it won't go all at once. But I've
You
been
know what? We could on that note, Mark. So let's talk on that on Friday, because what we can do is we can do a Zoom call and then I can record it and then we can put the recording out of the stuff that you got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll work through it. I'll give you a call on Friday though.
It's like the picture that I sent to you
Yeah,
of that last urn.
right,
People don't see that cabbage maple hardly ever,
right.
but it's just beautiful. See, I don't even know how to like share a picture or anything. I'm not this technically oriented.
No worries. Yeah, we'll get it sorted out. All right, I got to go in and take care of the
Yeah.
diabetic cat here.
All right.
I'm
Good.
listening, but y'all talk amongst yourselves.
All right, good seeing y'all.
That's
Well,
so
still got on
generous of you, Mark.
How do you, can somebody tell me real quick how to just share a photo on this iPhone? Okay.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah,
Typically what you do is you load it up in an app and then you do a share screen to it. That's how it works on a computer. So maybe that's the way it would work on an iPhone too.
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right,
so in whenever you get there, Mark, you feel free to play with it. We'll talk in the meantime. Several people have shared links to the bells on the on Amazon. So thanks very much, Billy, and whoever found one before. Those are great. So just another.
So
Well, that's something else.
I didn't find the bells, but I found those. I found
The
those
little
other
the stopper, the crimp stoppers.
the crimp stoppers.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
something else. Okay.
I found those bells. I put that link out there, and they're available in two colors, like the brass color and the more silver color, chrome color.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, 20,
Very cool.
20
Yeah.
of them, 20 of them for like $4.50 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this group because I was got my Amazon cart loaded in another window, and whenever people suggest shit, I just send it right to the Amazon cart. That's how we cleaned Amazon out of that tool steal
Right,
the night
right.
the night that Steve Twidell
Yeah,
showed us.
yeah. Well, and I just ordered two of those. What
Party
did I
tool
say?
blanks.
Yeah, I ordered two. 6mm by 12mm by 200.
Yeah, I saw your message in chat about that, Billy. I was like, uh-oh, I know what he's doing.
I'm gonna make me a scraper.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I've made more tools in the last 6 months from y'all than I've done in the previous 5 years. So
Yeah, I hear you.
a lot of good ideas, man. Those scrapers scrapers are great. I've got one of my club members who's very active is a scraper and skew guy. So and he's one of these tool guys who collects tools too. So I sort of I talk to him sort of on a casual basis about what I'm looking for, if it's a scraper or a skew, and in a meeting or two, in a month or two, he comes up with one found used somewhere and sells it to me cheap. So I never had a big honking round scraper, round nose scraper that, you know, and I wanted one after doing the teaching that I was doing, because I found out how useful it was. So I was like, yeah, I need one of those. And I mentioned something casual to him, and you know, a month and a half later, he's like, dude, here you go. I was like, oh, that's
Nice.
awesome. How much you want for that?
Yeah, I love my 1.5-inch scraper. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, it's about the size of it. It's seriously useful for finishing the bottoms of boxes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Now I can do it with the, you know, with several of the other tools, but that round nose scraper just makes it easy. You know, cover, and you can really get that very consistent curve on the inside of that corner at the bottom of the box or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I used my Steve Twidell tool SKU yesterday and today too, so it's all good.
Name dropper.
All right, so let's see. I got shelves worth of wood I could show here.
Hey, well, you're looking for that. So I started goofing around because I saw somebody on TikTok doing something with cement and CA glue. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and fill some cracks with that and see if it works. And it's really similar to doing it with like baking soda. And it's turning out all right. I don't know that I love it, but
Well,
it's
show us, Doug. Show us.
It makes
show
an
us.
interesting color. You want to spotlight me?
You're spotlighted.
I'm
I'm talking. Let me get him. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Let me flip the camera. So this is filled with with mortar mix and CA glue. And so this is, I picked up this bag for less than $5. It was $4.90 at Lowe's. And then I threw it in a little ketchup bottle kind of thing. And then just like if you're gonna do coffee grounds or oh,
Did you figure it out, Mark?
looks like
Apparently
he
he did.
did. And that is way cooler than what I was about to look at. So
That is pretty.
that is
Wow.
gorgeous.
Wow.
Double wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Spectacular.
Hey, Mark, if you got another piece of wood like that you're ready to get rid of,
Is that cabbage maple or whatever he was talking about?
I'll drive to Atlanta tomorrow morning before Howard King can get there. Ooh,
I was going to say that looks
Lordy.
like ambrosia maple, but
I don't know what it is, but it's awesome.
Wow.
It is gorgeous. That's beautiful, Mark. I don't know if you muted yourself. We don't hear you, but we definitely see your picture.
yep.
That's one of those that you just say, damn.
Seriously. Seriously.
Don't you have to like raise your voice a little when you say that too? You go, damn.
Like,
Yeah, you got to get it up in the higher
Gotta go up an octave or 3.
Either high or real low, but it's got to be an
Ooh.
extreme. Could be a.
Oh.
you need
There
a
you go.
chick voice. You need a chick voice. Damn.
There you
There
go.
you go.
You can throw a
Yeah.
yeehaw right after that one.
All right, I'm going to switch back to Doug. Thanks, Mark.
Mute.
On
There
you,
we go.
Doug.
No, I unmuted. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Now he's off mute. We hear you now, Mark.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah, that-
explain the way that maple tree grows is that's actually a red maple, but it grew in a boggy area. And so then when it's in a swampy area or a boggy area, then what it does, it picks up the stain in the water. And each year it stains the layers. And
Wow.
then when you cut the wood around a curve, those growth rings stack up like layers of cabbage leaves. So I call it cabbage.
Wow.
But
That's crazy.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just sent a piece to Skip Wilbur over in Memphis. But anyway,
So Doug, what would happen if you tried to turn that? Would the concrete chew up your tool? He probably can't
Doug
hear
may
me.
not be able to hear you. The standard's running.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I forgot to mute that. Sorry, guys. You probably just heard that, didn't you?
Well, you did no. It shut it off, but
Oh,
you
okay.
were asked what happened. What would happen if you try to turn that? Would it chew up your tools?
No, so actually I had a bunch on here before, and then I tried it with a scraper, and the scraper, it was a negative rate scraper. It was this bad boy right here, and it wasn't sharp, but I figured if I put a real sharp edge on there, it was just gonna dull it super fast anyway. So I just tried it the way it was and didn't make much progress. And then I went ahead and did just a real light scrape this way with it, and it peeled all right out. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. Don't try to turn it back smooth. So when it comes out proud, just sand it off. And I'm just using 80 grit. And yeah. So I don't know, yeah, different than doing it with baking soda, you know, where you get the white lines in there. So now it's great. So depending on the color wood, might be worth doing it. It's cheap.
Now, Doug, I don't remember if you were in the meeting a couple of times back when somebody showed us, maybe it was Doug Miller who showed us the resin-crete.
Ooh,
you guys
no,
remember
I didn't
that? Okay, so there's a resin that's called resin-crete that you can that you can stain.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's better or worse than what you're doing.
Is it in a powder form or a liquid form?
Yeah, it's in a powder form.
Wow, no, I missed that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
So yeah, I mean, somebody in our, it's in our videos. Dave puts all that stuff up on our YouTube channel. So
yeah,
just go look at our videos for it. Yeah. But that probably does exactly what you're doing, and it might be better on the tools. I'm just saying. So
yeah, it might stick in there better, because that's the problem. Either the baking soda or the cement, it gets it's hard, but then it's brittle, so it'll just pop out that way.
So the resin-crete is kind of it's a more flexible material, and it's resin based rather than, but it's a powder. So you've got both of those going. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't remember who did it. I thought it was Doug Miller, but I could be wrong about that.
Doug did it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but
I just posted a link.
Okay. Yeah. So it was covered in our video because he did do some inlay with it. So, go look at that. But that's a great idea.
That resin-crete is a very light powder, and it doesn't take much water to get the consistency that you need. And then once it dries quick, but it dulls the tool pretty quick.
Interesting.
If you want to use colors, like you're doing a CA fill or something in a crack, and you want to use colors, but you don't really want the white, or you don't from baking soda or the gray from the concrete, and this stuff does turn away. I have discovered that I can use powder coat powder, and it's not very expensive. So, and you can get it in whatever colors you want. So sometimes I'll just use powder coat powder and fill those cracks with CA, and it does an amazing job.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Can I explain how I deal with cracks?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I save all kinds of pieces of bark. So if I'm dealing with walnut, then I have all kinds of chunks of walnut bark. I have all kinds of chunks of cherry bark, maple bark, all that stuff. And what I do when I go to fill a crack, the first thing I do is I spray accelerator in the crack. then I take and I always use a hammer and I hammer chunks of bark that'll fit in the crack. Then the rest of it I just fill in with the bark powder that I've generated off of my belt sander. So the first thing I do is I fill the crack, I spray it with the accelerator. Second thing is I pound in and fill in the bark that matches the other bark and include. Then the third thing I do is I put the thin 3408, the Parfix 3408, and I very slowly let it soak down in the crack. And when it soaks down in the crack, then it hits the accelerator down in the bottom and it cures from the bottom up and it's totally solid. It doesn't just, people will put a little bark dust or something in there and they just float it real quick on the surface and it'll bubble up a little bit on the surface, but they haven't got a solid thing all the way down in the crack.
Hey, you know what, Mark? Here's how I learned that the hard way. I was filling the outside of a bowl and I was doing it with baking soda and CA glue. Then I started hogging out the inside of the bowl. And next thing I know, I've got this white powder. I said, what in the world is this? And it was my baking soda coming through the other side because I didn't have the glue on the bottom side like you're talking about.
Yeah, but if you put that accelerator down in the crack first, when that glue hits it soaking down, it's solid.
Hey, Mark.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah,
Mark, how much time do you have to work for that accelerator is totally dry and evaporated?
Well, accelerator is basically water mostly.
It would probably, I don't know, because you've got a time delay. You've got a 40-second time delay in the 3408 down inside. I would say in 5 minutes, it's gone. I mean, the product is solid.
It depends on your humidity and your temperature.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's because that stuff is evaporating and soaking into the wood. So it's gonna, think of it as water because it's basically mostly water. The accelerator is.
Well, I use the accelerator with the heptane, like the doctors do. I don't use it with the acetone because, acetone dissolves super glue. And so the only thing I use anymore is the heptane-based accelerator. And then the super glue is always totally solid.
Interesting.
You can use baking soda as a carrier and hit it with super glue and it'll dry crystal clear. You can also color the baking soda first. Does the same trick.
Yeah, I've used a lot of baking soda. I like I put the baking soda in there and I'll sand it up and I get a kind of a cool marbly look to it. And I did it on a piece of apple one time and oh man, it came out so sharp. And people are asking me, what is that? Did you put resin in there? I said, it's just baking soda.
Just baking soda.
Yep.
Baking soda, stuff the crack tight and hit it with thin set super glue and it dries crystal clear. You can also use an alcohol based coloring. I get it from Tandy Leather and add a couple of drops to the super glue and create any kind of color you want.
Yeah.
How do you color the baking soda? What do you use for that?
I usually color the baking soda prior to packing it, and then pack the crevice with the colored baking soda, and then hit it with a couple of drops of thin set.
But what are you putting in the baking soda to color it?
It just wicks it up in an instant and dries solid as a rock.
What dye or powder do you color the baking soda with?
An alcohol-based liquid dye that I get from Tandy Leather Company. There's
Okay, thank you.
There's a Tandy Leather shop near me, and they use it to dye leather with. It dries almost instantly.
Thank you.
So you could probably use Rip dye to color the soda as well.
You probably
Yeah,
enter
it'll do the
any
same
color
thing,
fist.
but you need to dry the liquid food coloring
Right.
out before you add the super glue.
Right.
And you can do that in the microwave. It'll dry quick enough.
I wonder if I mixed in my mica powder with my baking soda, if it would color it or if it would just
Be separated.
Yeah, it'd be
I don't that sounds pretty cool. Let us know next week. Because I got that stuff. Because I got that stuff.
Save your mica. Save your mica.
I got tons of it. Let's play. It's after hours. All right. Spotlight the Dougie.
Professor Rowe, hook us up.
Baking
You got the
soda.
spotlight.
Yep.
Put a little.
Arm and hammer. That's
Oh, there were
it.
some more chips in there. Move this out of the way. And I think, which drawer do I have my mica powder in? Of course, it's not going to be the one I opened first. Why would I? Let's see.
Nope, not there.
You hid it from yourself.
I know, huh?
It'll be in the last. It'll be in the
There it
last drawer
is.
you look in.
There it is. Do you know why that is? It's because you stop looking when you find it.
You're right.
That's the reason why.
All right. How about some purple?
Purple.
Yeah,
Purple.
purple. Let's do purple.
All right. And let's get a little popsicle stick. And let's mix it all up.
Using
Look at that. It
powder is easier.
it changes the color. That's interesting. Okay, good to know. Same thing that would happen if you added white to anything. It makes it paler. Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, funny how that works. Okay.
Right.
Let's go back to the lathe.
Don't sneeze.
Okay.
Right.
Let's find us a new crack. This thing's full of them. I have a crack habit.
You could make a new crack.
We could with this thing. So
Got
all right.
a crack habit. Oh.
I just not crack cocaine, just crack wood.
Oh God.
Oh, see, I should have just did what Mark said, and I didn't do it right. I should have put the accelerator in there first. What was I
Put it
thinking?
on the other. Put it on the other crack.
We will. We might as well do this one
Hey,
first.
Artie, how are you?
Look at that. Look at that.
All right, now let's sand off the excess real quick.
Move
Hold your ear.
move your baking soda and move your super glue.
Oh, when you're trying to. Oh, when you want to be. Oh, you want to watch my box
don't-
demo on Saturday?
He don't listen.
You know what? Don't worry about paying. I'll just send you the direct link.
I mean, it needs a better sanding job, but I've now got a purple line in there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. That's cool.
Mm.
Dang. Okay. All right.
Now
I
in
wonder if I can
February,
sell that out on the street as like a
Doug,
high quality foreign cocaine. What do you think somebody would pay for that?
February 2022, there is a demo on how to embellish those micro cracks like that with fine metals or fine powders by Chris Parker on the YouTube channel. Watch it.
Okay.
Did you say February 2022?
Yes.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Dane.
You bet. That's
Thanks
more
for the
useless
thanks for
information that I
thanks for
shouldn't keep.
thanks for the quick demo, Doug. I much appreciate that. That's very cool.
I don't know if I'd call that a demo. I'd call that goofing around and after hours.
Well, you know, we're going to clip that out and it'll live on in perpetuity. So
I think I'll stick with my powder coat powder. It's faster.
Hey, I did. This was the bowl I showed a couple of weeks ago, and I said the finish got all messed up on me, and everyone said, "Yeah, pretty much the only thing you can do is sand it off and start again." And I sanded it off, and I coated it in shellac a couple of times, and sanded it off, and shellacked and sanded it. Finally, got that wood saturated, and it turned out pretty shiny.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Great.
Yeah. And then I didn't show this one. I just made that one a few days ago.
Well,
and then,
nice
oh man, you want to talk about getting angry? Oh, I didn't bring it back. Oh yeah, I did bring it back out here. This dang eucalyptus bowl I got.
Yeah.
I didn't make that thing. Somebody else made it and gave it to me. But every time I thought I was done putting a finish on this thing, I'd come back out and be like, all right, it should be dry. Huge run. I'm like, where did it come from? It was not there when I walked away from it. I don't want to talk about how many times I sanded that thing and redid it.
Yeah, eucalyptus can be fun to finish.
Yeah. And I don't know if it had to do with because I wet sanded it with boiled linseed oil and then tried putting a lacquer on it, but man, it was just
Yeah,
it was
I don't
kicking my
know much
butt.
about. I don't use the lacquers, so I don't know how it plays with linseed oil.
Yeah, and the other thing that I changed too, I found this lacquer on clearance. So I went and bought it all up because it was cheap. And I was like, Wacko, you know, they make a lot of different products. I've never tried their lacquer, and it was on clearance for that. So I was like, let me try it. And I don't know if that was the problem. Maybe it likes my Walmart lacquer better. But I might have used a couple of cuss words.
I think maybe you had a oil in the eucalyptus that was affecting your finish.
It might have been, but man, yeah, I'm not kidding. It was like 3 or 4 times I came out and had to power sand it back off, and like, ugh. And so then the last time I was like, the thinnest little coat. Okay, watch that dry. Yeah. Another thin little coat. Watch that dry. Apparently, if you stare at it, it doesn't run. But if you walk in the house, come back out, there'll be about 5 or 6 runs in it.
Oh God.
But we got my local club's got a art show coming up over Mother's Day weekend. So I'm just trying to build up my inventory, but I haven't made a whole lot. I've been really busy this school year, so I got some stuff up there and some stuff over there, but not nearly as much as I had last year when I did this art show. So hopefully I make my money back and don't pay money to just go stand there and talk to people.
Yeah, you should do all right. You did all right last year, right?
I did. I actually would have been the highest seller for my club, except for my sister went and bought a few pieces from another guy, and it just barely put him over the top.
Don't you just love it?
Yeah, that's messed up.
And I kept saying, Eileen, you don't need to buy this from me. Just come to the house. I'll make you one. No, I want to buy stuff down here. And so she did buy some of mine. If she would have only bought my stuff, again, I'd have been the big winner that day. But no, guy named Phil beat me out.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's
fun though, you know, just hang all that. No, we're in school right now. We finish up for the summer. I think May 23rd or something like that's our last day of school.
Oh, okay.
And then right after school, I think we're only out for a week. And then I got selected to be a chaperone for the 8th graders that are doing a trip to Washington, D.C. So I'm going to
How about
Washington,
that?
D.C. for 4 days. So that's pretty cool. All expense paid.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's still going to wind up costing you more money to go, even if it's free.
Yeah. but
Right.
But it should be
Yeah,
pretty
it'll be a
fun.
good time. Yeah.
I think I've got like 13 kids I'll be in charge of, which isn't too bad. And out of the 13, I think like 5 of them in my group are from my school. So I was their teacher when they were in 7th grade last year. So most of them know me. And we had our first little meeting, you know, where all the kids got assigned who their chaperone was going to be. And then you kind of walked off to the side so you could talk to your group. And
Yeah.
they got, you know, the first sergeant voice, like, when I tell you to be somewhere, you will be there. Don't make this like preschool. I don't want to have to hold your hand. And these kids are kind of looking at me, but my students are like, yep, welcome to Mr. Rose class.
Right. Yeah, they'll have fun with you.
Yeah.
How long is the trip?
I think it's 4 days and 3 nights or something like that. So it's not a real long one, but it's really packed. Like, so we're going to take a red-eye flight out of Arizona, out of Sky Harbor. And then we land wherever we're landing, somewhere near DC. We'll land in the morning, and then we get on our tour bus, and we don't even go to our hotel. We go straight into the city, or whatever you want to call it, right into DC, and start touring. And we tour all day, and then we don't see our hotel room till that night. Go to bed, get up, and do it all again. Yeah, and it's like that every day. So, but this is like the 9th time my principal's done it. So I figure at this point she knows what she's doing.
Cool.
Quick question. Does anybody mind? Do you think anybody's going to mind if I put a note on the front page of the website mentioning the fact that Mark is liquidating? I know that we
No,
don't
I don't
normally
think so.
put in ads, and I was trying to decide whether anybody was going to be offended.
I'll make the command call on that and say go ahead, because like I said, I'm going to try and do a video recording for it,
Uh-huh.
and we'll put it on the YouTube, just to help him out. You're muted, Dave.
That sounds great. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I've been thinking about it since last week when he mentioned it. I will definitely put something on the front page. I've actually got a good 15 minutes from him talking last week, and maybe I'll join it. And if you send videos to me, I'll add those to the website too, and YouTube.
Will do.
Yeah, there's exceptions to every rule, and I think Mark Slay deserves to be that exception.
I think so too.
I agree.
Yep.
What are people gonna do? Sue us?
Yeah, right. Take it out of my pay.
From a water spout.
Get in line.
Definitely.
Well, guys, it was good catching up with y'all again. I actually got to be in there for a lot of the meeting tonight. So
that's good.
But hopefully I'm back.
Pop in.
What's that?
It was good to see you pop in.
Yeah. But I'm gonna get going, and hopefully I will see you all next week.
All right, sounds good, Doug. Take care, buddy.
You too. Bye.
I'm going to take off too. We'll see y'all later next week.
All right, Brent. We'll see you later.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna cash it in tonight. Good night, guys.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Steven.
Me too.
Good night, Heather.
Good night from the Alamo City.
Good night now.